Right, as we said, gods of democracy and complete fairness, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tingle by its toe. If it scribbles, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, this one. Thank you, you are doing well, petit fleur. Oh, there we go. He did say something really creepy for an old man to say, but we got it right! Yay! The 50-50! The gods of democracy and eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and fairness and equality rule and win again. Once he climbed the ladder, I slumped down and blankly stared at the square before me. What was that even about today? I mean, he didn't really give me any feedback. I guess that's a good thing. I did everything perfectly well. Actually, you gave him the wrong coordinates. Huh, but I grabbed my report and opened it, skimming the grid layout. My eyes widened when I realised Kyler was correct. Stupid blunder, how did I mess this up? But why? He didn't say anything, I thought I nailed it. It's how he is. He wanted to see how confident you were as you explained your reasoning. So we failed regardless. Good, good. Second guessing yourself, repeating or stammering are signs he watches for. Besides, I think he knew you'd catch your own mistake after you wrote down the find. I suppose, why were you listening in anyway? In case you wanted to ask me something related to the conversation. I mean, if you're just gonna say it out loud, whatever. Of course. Wait, why was I expecting it to be any different? Thanks, Kyler. He was baffled by my gratitude but said nothing and returned to his excavation. With a heavy heart, I forced myself to continue, doing my best to push that elementary mistake out of my head. Wow. Stop throwing the ball at his face, for fuck's sake! Oh, good, we have to do some more lab thing. I love this. Whoosh. We did an amazing job, we got everyone right. We are truly a hero. Radiocarbon dating, there you are. That's a fun fact. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it in this series yet, but C14 dating is a reference to carbon dating, not dating boys. So, just a little thing for you there, which makes Micus and Slate excellent examples of cleavage. I'm hoping that's an archaeology reference. Right. DeAndre rubbed the side of his head as his eyes darted from rock to rock in the tray. The entire table was covered from examples from Hendrik's collection. So that's why he kept them. I guess DeAndre asked a question while he helped Hendrik carry the trays in. Gripping my own tray, I carefully placed it on top of the stack. You can peel the mica apart like a deck of cards. In geology, cleavage is used to identify overturned beds based on the dipping. Okay, now I really need to know, how can you say stuff like this with a straight face? What do you mean? Never mind, continue with the cleavage. Right, once we've finished, we'll go over luster and hardness. He's taking the piss at this point. There's no fucking way. Anyway, there are two types of cleavage. Continuous and disjunctive cleavage. Continuous is when, they go all the way down to your knees. Not that. The door Jesus, Tenarium. The door swung open, interrupting the lecture. Rosemary took a small step inside and motioned with her hand. Helena wants to talk to you about something. It's regarding the upcoming class trip. Oh, right. I'll be right there. You two can head back inside. This will take a while. The two exited and DeAndre fiddled with the flaky mica before setting it down. How did that whole conversation start? All I did was ask what rock this was, then he lit up like a Christmas tree, and before I knew it... How's the elective going? Feel more confident? There, he had a smile. This is the right answer. I think I got the hang of it. I stopped switching the X and Y's around. And my wet screen cups aren't as full from overlooking bones the first time. You've been a big help, Mel. Hey, you're welcome. I've done nothing, but you're welcome. Well, I still have a lot to learn, but I'm glad to be of service. He then zeroed in on a rock, tapping the piece of paper glued to the bottom of the tray and shook his head. Mel, there's a mineral called coming tonight. Really? I don't believe that. Google's heard of it. Silicate minerals. That's right. There is a mineral. There is. It is called coming tonight. That is surprising. Oh no, we're not going there. But seriously, banning dirty puns. Think of the jokes. Good night, everybody. Good. Right, no more cave or lab stuff. Now just museum. Hopefully we'll hit a... Oh, look at our culture. It's so high. You could max everything out if you had right RNG, right? So you could straight up do that. I'm pretty sure, anyway. Okay, so... Back to seeing what DeAndre's doing. Lab, volunteer, lab. Okay, so we're going to do the ones which do culture. It's catch, and then cave, volunteer. Do need to do something about our stress. So what gets down stress? Browsing the internet, of course. What else? Catch, cave, volunteer, and then we'll just do culture and then relax, I guess. So what one's culture? It's like the museum, right? I think we're already on that, yeah. No, that's rational. We do need one more in rational. I don't remember whether we've got it and I can't be asked to look for it. What was the culture one? There is no culture one. There is, good. And then dance and release our stress. Good. Let's do this. Oh, straight to the lab. Good. I'm liking that there aren't as many scenes around here and now it's more focused on the RNG gameplay. Woo! Fist pump. Ah, whoosh. An amazing job today. What a hero we are. Lower Paleolithic? Oh shit, why is it on skip? No, it shouldn't be on skip. Oh god. Lower Paleolithic. I think that's dinosaurs? I'm sure someone will tell me why and if I'm wrong. What is this anyway? It's like a rock but crusty and reddish. Well, it's Hendrik after hours. I held up a old conglomerated mess, almost certainly not said that word right, which felt like a clump of brittle sticks poking out of a mud mass. That's vomit. Regurgitated from a bigger animal. I bet if you were to break it apart, you'll find a cluster of rodent bones inside. Oh god, okay, here's hoping I'm not the one who has to deal with this. Please don't tell me I have to wash it. I don't want to get all moist again. He chuckled as he returned to scrubbing a fine tooth with a toothbrush. Now, you can leave this one as is. One of the team members will dissect it later. Whew, okay, that was a close one. I should stop picking all of the bags with the most interesting looking stuff. You could be like me and pick the smallest ones. At least I feel like I'm making progress when I go through multiple ports in a day. The table vibrated and DeAndre snatched his phone as Hendrik looked at... We're in the middle of fucking nowhere in fucking Belgium and you have your phone going off and work. Oh my god. Hendrik looked in disapproval. After DeAndre tapped the screen a few times, his face fell. He read something that stuffed the phone into his pocket to hide it. I'm not anti-phone use at all, right? I think phones are a wonderful thing. I'm not one of these people who goes, I only use my phone for calling. How better I am than... Nothing like that. I love a phone. I use my phone all the time. But really? Whilst you're in the middle of nowhere? When I went to Italy last summer, I didn't use my phone. Enjoy the fucking place. Whatever. Tapped the screen a few times, his face fell. He read something and stuffed the phone into his pocket to hide it. Something up? Just training schedules bad enough I have to miss most of them until I finish this elective. What do you train in? I was surprised you decided to repeat archaeology instead of signing up for a different course in the fall. Rugby. I play for Perona RC. I can't wait for no one to be impressed. Apparently he's impressed by the Belgian Rugby League. There was a beat before Hendrik shot up, the chair screeching back from the sheer force. What, you play in the league? That's Cole. You get Cole. That's not even a pun and your nose looks weird. If I remember correctly, you guys performed pretty well in the final game. In the final game. Wait, you're a professional athlete? I've only been in the the roster. Written like a real American. I've been on the team/squad because we're not American and we don't call them rosters. squad/team for a year. That's why I vowed to work harder this season. But yeah, no, Deandre is totally European. He says roster. If you ever want game tickets, you know who to ask. Yeah, like they're interested. Now I see why you retook the elective. I say that so sadly. Right, once I get my required credits and graduate, I'll move to Perona. I'll be able to focus on my training better and regain my independence. Living in New Zealand drained me financially, and I miss having my own place. Though it's possible my brother might join if he doesn't mind the commute to university. Less rent, you'll be fine. He's talked before about New Zealand. You still plan to go back to New Zealand someday, right? I hope so. I actually want to travel during the off-season, you know, backpack across New Zealand since I haven't seen all of it. Maybe go to Australia after. Australia? I'd love to go there for the maritime archaeology. There are a lot of shipwreck sites. Aside from that, what else is there in Australia? People with a huge tolerance for alcohol. That's more than good enough for me. Is there any other reason people go to Australia? I can't think of one. I mean, sure, there are the attractions you like Sydney Harbour and stuff, but details. I admit I wouldn't mind going there to see Ayers Rock. I don't know what that is. That famous landmark, right? Is there something special about it? Well, isn't Australia that has that, is the country that has all those dumb landmarks? Like, Big Prawn. There's just like a big, 30-foot prawn. That's it. That is it. I thought someone, when I was first told about that, I thought someone was taking the piss. I had to assume they were joking. It's not. It's a real thing that people have. Deandre and I shared a knowing glance, and we braced ourselves for Hendrik's reply. He leaned in excitedly. Ayers Rock, or Uluru, oh god, is an insular berg that was upthrusted during the Peterman or... Chantal shrunk back from his spiel, and Deandre groaned, cutting off Hendrik's explanation. That sounds dirty. That's geology for you? Never mind. The main door swung open and Rosemary stepped out. Hen, reminding you that the group tour will arrive in about 30 minutes. They're on their way now. Please get the fuck away from here. Stop boring us, mate. Already? Thanks, Rose. Melissa, I'm going to be ordering everyone to clean up and then head to the cave. We won't be able to get any work done with 20-something kids around. Feel free to pretend to dig if you'd like. It's all for the kids. I'll pretend to dig as much as I can. Hendrik stood up and started the announcement in French. I returned the half-cleaned bone to the tin foil and began washing off the tools. I trekked up to the cave and hastily grabbed supplies as I made my way down to my usual square. Kyler was nowhere to be seen. Odd, was he needed for something? Maybe he was helping out on the tour. Maybe he, grown as a person, was networking. Probably not. I started digging, albeit at a relaxed pace, until I could hear footsteps and the chatter of voices entering the cave. Hendrik led a middle-aged teacher, roughly 20 elementary students, onto the catwalk, forming a long line. I can't see any of them. Many of the kids clamoured to the railing, poking their heads above or between the bars. They pointed excitedly at all the archaeologists at work or pretending to dig. I mean... kids going crazy over archaeology. It seems optimistic is all I'm saying. It wasn't until I craned my head up that I spotted Kyler near the back. While Hendrik gestured to the roof of the cave, Kyler made fluid motions and signs whenever he spoke. Oh. So, some of the kids are hard of hearing? That sounds likely, right? Duh, the kids must have been curious about him. Slowly, the restless conga inched deeper, but Hendrik stopped where the railing ended. Even in French, I could tell he and the teacher gave stern safety instructions before they reverted into their learning is fun voices. Yeah, you can all dream. During the lecture, Hendrik would pause to address any raised hands. The tour was too distracting for me to focus on work, and I observed the class instead. Hendrik gestured to some of the archaeologists, including Deandre. Salut, je m'appelle Deandre. Je cru Paul. Saw in the comments is translating everything, okay? You can look and see what he said. He's doing a wonderful job. Give him all of the upvotes, okay? The kids laughed and shouted something to Deandre, who pretended to be surprised. Once the excitement died down, Hendrik glanced in my direction. Hey Melissa, we mentioned we had archaeologists from around the world working here. Say hi for us. Smiling wildly, Widely, I waved and stood on my tiptoes to give them a better view of me. Bonjour, je ne parle pas français. I'm from America. Just... No, je suis de America. Nothing like that. Just, I'm from America! There was a chorus of laughter, probably from my silly voice and terrible accent. Hendrik nodded happily and returned to the students. Oh my god, it looks like he's wearing something official! A girl next to Kyla pointed at me and mouthed something. Kyla made a few gestures with his hand, and I had the sneaking suspicion it was about me somehow. Oh, you reckon? While Hendrik mentioned Neandertals, I saw DeAndre creeping behind Show Square, which was out of view of most of the students. He watched the group as if waiting for the perfect cue to strike. What's the idiot planning? Before Hendrik could finish his sentence, there was a loud roar followed by heavy stomping. DeAndre emerged on the catwalk, lunging on a wide stance with his arms raised above his head. So no one fucking falls off, eh? The kid squealed happily in a mix of surprise and pretend fear, while Hendrik watched in bewilderment. Kyla straightened himself up, not impressed with DeAndre's antics. He unleashed a stern line of words before pointing at DeAndre accusingly. Deandertal. Look, guys, they've grown up somehow. They completely didn't get on, and now they do, because friendship. Or something. We? The children erupted into laughter, and even Hendrik doubled over, one hand clutching his stomach as he leaned against the railing. Oh. So it was actually just a dig. Alright, albeit an amusing one. I thought that they were all getting together fine, and I was like, really? This seems better. It was DeAndre's turn to be confused, and the two started their rapid-fire banter. The teacher tried to calm everyone down since Hendrik was unable to speak. Finally, Hendrik recovered, still chuckling between breaths. Chuckling, even. He's throwing up off the side of the railing. Oh god, no! It's too funny! Still chuckling between breaths, and motioned for the class to exit the cave. The teacher repeated Hendrik's instructions, and the children slowly filed out, this time led by Kyla. Before they completely vanished, Hendrik said something to DeAndre. DeAndre was startled, but followed Hendrik, leaving us alone in the silent cave. While almost silent, many of the students chuckled, murmuring softly. They spoke about the events that occurred. The buzz was over, and I inserted my earbuds, preparing to excavate seriously. Still, that was rather entertaining. It seemed like everyone involved with the tour was having fun, including, dare I say, Kyla too! An hour later, Kyla returned and resumed his excavation. My curiosity won over, and I patted him on the shoulder. He recoiled in terror. Yes, he didn't recoil in terror. He was expecting our shoulder pat. God damn it.